The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. It's a very famous book. I am Holden Caulfield. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. But for real though, Catcher in the Rye is my favorite book of all time. I've read it 3 times in my life, at different points in my life, at different points of maturity, immaturity, and every time I read it, I interpret it differently. Obviously, how could you not? Holden Caulfield is a rebel. Holden Caulfield is a hero. Holden Caulfield is an anti-hero. Holden Caulfield has the adventure of a lifetime in one night. What do I mean by that? Well, let's break it down. Holden Caulfield. We start the book when he's still in high school. I think it's about to be Christmas break. And, Holden Caulfield's got a shitty attitude about life. He thinks everybody is fake. Everybody's, a piece of shit. His roommate's a scumbag. He's a womanizer. And he only has respect for one person, which is his one teacher. And why does he respect that teacher? Well, probably because the teacher actually gives a shit about him. Even though he's a poor student, I don't know, he's got kicked out of all these schools, but this one teacher's got his back. He goes and sees his teacher. He says, I'm dropping out again, or blah, blah, blah. The teacher's like, well, we hope to see you next semester. So he leaves town. He leaves his prep school. He's in a prep school. He leaves there, and he decides on a whim that he's going to travel back to, I'm going to say New York City. He decides to travel back to New York City. Nobody knows he's coming. He's got like $100 in his pocket, and he does all this adult shit in like one night. He has a fake ID. He goes to the bar. He gets some drinks. He hits on some women. He gets a hotel room. He goes up to the hotel room. He looks out his window at all the perverts that are across the street doing some weird kinky shit. He's like, ah, damn. And then he's like, I gotta get out of here. He goes to a restaurant where there's a big shot piano player, and he sees all these fake people, blah, blah, blah. He leaves there. It's got to be like 3 a.m. in New York City by now. He goes back to his hotel room, and that's where I'm gonna stop the story before I get into it, because there is a meaning behind why I'm talking about all this, and that's that I am Holden Caulfield. Nah, I'm playing. For real though. I think the reason why I'm so drawn to this book is because of my own manic experiences that I've had in my life. And it starts off fun, manic experiences, and what will happen is there's not an end in sight to the adventure. You start off on an adventure, and you don't even know where you're going to go. There's no plan. You just go down, you take this crazy train, right? That has no destination. It's a destination into infinity. There's no end to it. The only end is either death or the police or getting sent to the mental hospital, which is ultimately where the train stops if you don't get things under control. And why do I bring this up? Well, I'm doing research on mania, and I've had an interesting few days. This has been going on since Tuesday to right now. We're going into Sunday, and what I can tell you is that when you start off on this adventure, whatever you're doing, like your Caulfield adventure, you got a starting point. The starting point for me is usually Pittsburgh. Is usually the starting point. I'll tell you a quick story of exactly what I'm talking about. And this has happened several times. I'll take my car to the casino. I'll park my car at the casino, and then it's like the world is my oyster. Pittsburgh is my oyster. I start off at the casino, and then I get on the ground, because you gotta park like at least 5 floors up at the casino, 4 or 5 floors up, and then you're on ground level, and then it's like, where do I go from here? Well, I don't know. So I just start walking. I might walk through the city. I might walk to the south side. I might go to the Strip District. I might walk across the Allegheny River. I might walk across the Monongahela River. And with no apparent place in sight, I've done it without a phone. I've done it without a wallet. I've done it with both. I've done it several times. But the point I'm trying to make is there's never a goal. There's never a goal. And when you find yourself in this Holden Caulfield adventure, you're not always gonna, go back home and see your family and like come down from it. That's the mistake that I've made in the past. Is that I don't go back home. I've gone 3 days on the street by myself. That might be an exaggeration, but I've just done it so many times that I can't even keep track. But the point is, you have to know what the fuck you're doing, and there's not always a point to what you're doing when you're having a manic episode. I had a adventure today. In fact, I've had an adventure the last few days, and I think what you would call what I've had the past couple days would be hypomania, which is like a small manic episode. Okay? And it started from drinking coffee, which I don't drink coffee. And the stimulus that I got from the coffee basically it was like a light switch that went off in my head. And they say that you only use like 9% of your brain, right? You only actually use 9% of your brain power. Well, have you ever seen the movie what's that guy? Bradley Cooper was in a movie. I can't remember what it's called right now. It was like called Infinite or something, where he took a pill and he was able to, it was able to like elevate his intelligence, elevate so that he could use all of his brain power, and he became invincible. It's like knowledge really is power. Knowledge really is power. When Bradley Cooper had that ability to access parts of his brain that he hasn't used his entire life, it's like your brain is a muscle, and he was able to flex the whole thing. Okay, he I actually haven't seen the movie, but I'm just telling you the concept. But that's what it felt like when I drank coffee several days in a row. It stimulated my brain. It stimulated my strength, my endurance, and it put me into a manic mode, survival mode, which I'm still recovering from, but I am adapting. But it threw me into a manic phase where it threw me into a scary place. Is ultimately what it threw me into. Um, where do I begin? Oh man, I had lost a train of thought. Hold on. But yeah, I'm actually coming down from it now. It's 2:30 Sunday morning, and I'm coming down from all this, and I'm recovering. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about today. Um, which I'm kind of doing all this for research. I don't know how to let people know what I'm talking about is that I'm doing research for this, but I picked up my book that I'm still working on. It's called Manic Medicine, which is the title of this book, of the title of this channel, YouTube channel, and it got me thinking. And I was like reading it. I was like, God damn, this is some good shit. And I'm like, well, if I'm having this like hypomania right now, like this is when I need to be writing stuff down. This is when I need to be doing my research. This is where the magic happens. When you have like little spurts of mania, like that's where the magic sparks. That's where the creativity is. And the last time that I had this little spark, uh, it was induced by not taking my medication and drinking like a fish and staying up for days on end, on end, on end. And that's what happened. That you're gonna have mania. You're gonna become manic if you do it days on end. Your mind and your body can only take so much of the nonstop manic behavior before you shut down. And in the past, I have been able to capture that mania in a bottle. And I used to make music. I used to record music. There was a summer, I think it was 2012, where I thought the world was gonna end December 21st, 12th, 2012. And you all remember. Y'all remember the Mayan shit, yeah. Um, but I was convinced the world was gonna end, and I was manic, and I did a new music project every single day that summer, and I still listen to that shit, and I am in awe, and I wish I could do it again, and maybe I can someday, but I really need to hone my trumpet chops and get all that shit back. But that's not something I'm focusing on right now. That might be a side thing, but I'm focusing more on this right now, what I'm doing, which is talking about this kind of stuff and telling other people about it. And I'm sure if some of my family watches some of these videos that I'll be making probably in the next couple of days, they might be a little frightened and worried that, I'm back on my way to, hospitalization and whatnot. But I learned from, I don't want to say I learned, but like I'm experiencing things that I've already experienced, and I am uh, taking initiative to not do the same things I did before. Okay? Like, I'm not drinking at all. At all. Um, I started smoking again, which I haven't talked about. And I will tell you this, that whenever I'm like having a caffeine high, which I actually talked to somebody from GNC about this. I told him I've been experiencing this like high, this like these endorphins, crazy endorphins. So I don't even know if it's endorphins, but I was like, yeah, like I got crazy energy in the gym. It's like pre-workout, and I've been like like destroying the weights at the gym, like going up like 20 pounds in my bar curls, and I went up like at 25 pounds from 60 to 80 pound dumbbells in my bench, which if you know me, I got a shoulder problem, and it's like I turned into some kind of monster like in the gym, and I'm like destroying these weights. And the guy at GNC's like, yeah, if you're not used to caffeine like in those quantities, that you might experience euphoria from coffee intake for a while, until your body and your brain adapts to this new stimulus. It's like crack, kind of. Not really. I don't know what crack's like. But I've never felt this way. I've never had such a drastic change in a matter of a week. It's a drug. It's a drug. Okay. And y'all been drinking that shit your whole life. Not me. I drank pop my whole life, but I never drank caffeine. I never drank coffee like this. And it's it's something to behold. Salud. Yeah, yeah, I'm drinking coffee at 2:30 a.m. before I go to bed. But it's for research. It's for research. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep doing this shit, but I thought it was appropriate to go all out tonight to make this video. This video, I don't know where it's going. I'm just talking and talking, but yeah, I'm drinking coffee at 2:34 a.m. Anyway, my confidence has been through the roof. Um, I feel like my clothes fit a little better. I feel like my arms are a little bigger, my chest is a little bigger, my shoulders are a bit wider. Um, you get the point, right? Excuse me. And my swagger is a little bit different. My demeanor, my everything, my aura is different. I know it. And yeah, nobody's really, I mean, people have been paying attention, but like at work, the other day I drank coffee before I had a 8-hour shift, and I literally had a conversation with everybody that came through my line. Everybody. Like I had people laughing. I had people, you know, smiling. I had people like enjoying coming through my line, enjoying talking to me, wanting to come talk to me because the person in front of me was laughing, and I was making them feel good. And it's like it's contagious. You know, positivity is contagious, just like negativity is contagious. But I felt great after that shift, and I don't know. It's cool. I don't have another shift. I think. Oh shit! I gotta work tomorrow. Fuck. But anyway, I'll make it through till tomorrow. I don't think I work till 3, so I'll sleep in tomorrow. But that's another thing. This is what I am learning. Have learned is that you gotta get your sleep. you gotta make sure you eat. Because when you're manic, sometimes you forget to eat. When you're manic, sometimes you forget to shit. I'm not even kidding. You just keep going and going and going, and you forget to shit. You forget to eat. You buy tons of food that you're like, oh, this looks good. Oh, this looks good. And then you bring it back to your place, and then you never actually eat it. I remember I had all this takeout food from like Mad Mex and McDonald's, and I just had bags of like takeout food in my car that I wasn't even eating. Like, really, I'm not even kidding. Like, that's the way it be. And I'd have like bags of things that I bought at the store that like clothes, like shit that I didn't even need, sunglasses, vitamins, shoes, hats. The list goes on. It's just like you buy all this shit and then you forgot that you bought it, and then it's like, and then you look at the bill afterwards. You're just like, oh shit, I just spent like $1,000 in a day, and I'm not an avid shopper at all. That be what mania is like. What else is mania like? Mania is, like I said, like having a starting point without a destination, without an end. And you stay up for 3 days because you just keep finding stuff to do. Like, I'm doing that right now. I'm doing it right now, but I do plan on going to bed. But I'm getting this thought out. I'm getting this thought out before I'm ready to actually crash. You know, this is gonna be a good one. But yeah, there's not an ending point. Like, I already. I don't know, but it's like Holden Caulfield though. It's like you are a loner. You're doing all this shit by yourself. And it's lonely as fuck. My predicament right now is lonely as fuck, and that's my world. You know what I mean? That's my world. Is loneliness and being single. And I'm conducting an experiment right now as we speak, which I already know what the outcome's going to be because I've done something like this before. But basically, and I really was feeling like this too. So it started out as like a real thing, and it is a real thing. I posted on Facebook that, and this is the truth. Like I went through my phone list on my phone numbers, and I have tons and tons and tons of phone numbers in it. And I looked down the whole list, and I was like, and I called as many people as I thought that I had touched in my life in some way, that I had some kind of positive effect on these people in my life, in their life. And I called them. I called several people. I left messages. No, not one person picked up out of like 10 people. I called like 10 people. Not one of them called back. So I was feeling shitty. And it was like 10 p.m. And I was like, I feel like doing something. So I was like, well, fuck these people. I'm gonna go to the bar by myself. And yeah, I do that sometimes. I go to the bar by myself, and no, I don't drink alcohol. I started out at the Charwood, which is in Pitcairn. And I actually did talk to someone there, but it was because she was my neighbor who lives across the street from me. But I never actually talked to this girl before. And I had a really nice conversation with her. And that's what made this whole night, like, different. Anyway, I did have a nice conversation with her. I left Charwood because she left. And I was like, well, I'm not done. So I'm going to go to another bar. I must have gone to like 5 different bars. looking for somebody that I knew. I wanted to like have a conversation with somebody and like them actually, you know, want to talk to me. I didn't want to have to try too hard and then just like be nice and talk to me. Like I was hoping that I was gonna run into somebody that I was friends with, but I didn't. But that's just luck of the draw, and I did not have any luck in that department tonight. So after that, I went on Facebook and I put like 3 different messages on there that were like basically saying, "Nah, I don't like." I've been in hibernation for like 2 years. Is there anybody out there in my Facebook friend land that is doing anything tonight? You know, because that's the truth of it. Like I've been pretty much like going solo for the last 2 years. I had a few relationships, which is nice, but friends, I don't have any. I don't have any friends. Friends. Like I have acquaintances and I have people that I talk to. But I'm talking about like somebody who's my homie that like we'll go out to the bars and we could like bullshit or like go to a bar and like be welcome there. Know the people there. I saw that. I went to the Golden Goblet tonight, and everybody in the entire bar knew each other. Small town bar. I was like, and I was there for like a half an hour. I was drinking a Mountain Dew, and I felt like I was like ruining their night by being there, because I was an outsider. I didn't belong there, so I left. I left there, and that was that was like the 4th or 5th place I went. And then I started to go home. And I was going to go to the gym at like 12:30 midnight. I was going to go to the gym. And then I remembered that I talked to my ex yesterday, who's I'm still friends with. And I told her that I wanted to go to the casino, and she talked me out of it because she knows what happens when I go to the casino by myself, which is I'm going to do some stupid shit, I'm going to get into trouble, and I'm going to end up doing some more stupid shit for like days and days, and then blah blah blah. So she saw the flag and she called me on it. But really all I wanted to do was go there and take a picture in the bathroom because they got some cool mirrors in there. And guess what? That's what I did tonight. I went to the casino by myself. I got a pop when I got there. Went in the bathroom and I spent like a half an hour trying to take the perfect picture in these mirrors. It's trippy as fuck. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you can see the picture that I took. But I took this cool fucking picture. And then I afterwards I edited it and cropped it the right way so that it looked awesome, and now it's my Facebook picture, and that's cool. It's probably a red flag if you're a family member and you see that shit. It's probably like, what the fuck? What are you doing, Steve? You're freaking me out, man. But I did it anyway. And then when I was done at the casino at like 1:30, I drove back to Pitcairn and thought about what I was going to talk about in this video, which I've gone a little bit off topic, but I'm exactly where I want to be in the video. Cheers. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for your health. It's going to kill you, and it will. But you know what? I may have started smoking again, but guess what? I stopped chewing. And you might think, oh, well, quid quo pro. All you did was go from one thing to another. Yeah, but guess what? If I'm chewing, I can't play my trumpet because my shit gets all fucked up. So I can't play my trumpet if I'm chewing. But I can play my trumpet if I smoke. It just fucks my lungs up, but oh well. I don't even fuck. I can hear the birds chirping already. That's not a good sign. As long as it's not 5 a.m. when I go to sleep, I think I'll be alright. Right? That's bad. But I don't usually stay up late like that unless I'm drinking heavily. And I was around a lot of drunk people the last couple days. And I think there's 2 things that fucked me up this week. I've been very irritable the last couple days, and I think that's because my brain is like so locked in and trying to think logically. Everything I do has a purpose. Every step I take has a purpose. My body is like so in sync with itself, in sync with my brain. It's like I'm one thing. I'm like a machine. I'm a Steve machine. I'm a Steve B machine. I'm so in sync. And this is actually making me very tired smoking this. Yeah, I've been very irritable, and I pissed off my mom earlier tonight. We went out to eat, and she had to pick my dad up at 7, and we didn't end up getting to the restaurant till like 10 to 6, and there was like a half-hour wait in the line, and she put our name in, and she goes, we're not gonna be able to eat this before we get your dad. And I was like, well, I got an idea. Keep our name in the list, and I'll call the bar, put our order in, so that our food's already cooking. It's like we beat everybody that's in line. And she was like flipping out, like she's like, they're gonna take our name off the list. I'm like, why would they take our name off the list? Like, they don't know that we put an order in with the bar. So blah blah blah. Like, I was like getting really frustrated with her because she didn't see the logic and everything, but it did work out.